Okay. Does he see me? Because I don't. What? What do you mean? I'm sorry. Lady C, can you turn the music down for a minute so I can? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I've been here. Sure. Yes, it's style and empowerment chat. Yes, now I see. Yes, great. Okay, hold on. Okay, invite. Hold on. Are you there? Wait, can you see me? What's this? You see me? Okay. Hi.
How you doing, Laura?
Good. Okay, let me act out this little small participants window. Ah,
Laura, what you doing over there? I love your energy. You good?
I'm good. I'm good. Just annoyed when the technology isn't doing what we want it to do. But I've been here
Technology.
since I've been here since 12:30 looking for the notification. So then I'm like, shoot, I can't call because I'm on my phone. I didn't write down Kevin and Angela's numbers first. So I'm like trying to get into the computer and running back and forth. Well, what if he comes on while I'm in the office?
It's all good. Where you at? Where you at, Laura? What part of town you in?
So we're on Cecil B. Moore Avenue, in the Temple area,
In in,
like
in, in Philly?
City, Northern Liberties.
Where you at? North Philly?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. You in home. Hometown.
yeah. So this is where I record the live broadcast, and then I send it off to all my other stations in Atlanta, London, Cleveland, and Pakistan to run in the other slots throughout the week. And then the following week, before my new show, then it gets uploaded onto iHeartRadio, Amazon, Alexa, TuneIn, and all those places.
So how we doing over there? What we doing? I mean, the empowerment zone. You handling your business over there with the women empowerment and everything. You know how we do.
That's
You know,
right. Who about that?
it's a beautiful
Oh,
thing that our
you
women.
need closer. Okay, hold on. I have to bring you closer to my mic. Just hit me up with one more song, just as we get in our best life here.
You got a DJ there with you?
I'm sorry.
You have a DJ there?
Yes. So my station manager, Lady C, is floating here in the background. She's the co-owner of the station, and she engineers the shows.
Okay, so you need that help. We always need that extra additional help to make the
Exactly.
difference.
Yes. Like on one of the other stations I was on, I programmed it, but it gets kind of distracting because then sometimes you're into what you're talking about and you forget to hit mic off, air on, and all that stuff, especially when you're in a good interview and stuff. It's always best when you have someone off to the side handling the technical stuff so you can just focus in on the art part of it.
Well, it's a beautiful thing. I'm here with you. You have my undivided attention.
Well, that's fantastic. So afterwards, if you could, Kevin has my info and Angelo. So I'd like, after we're done talking, to set some time aside where we can see how we can do some things together with your charity and mentoring and all that stuff. Because I'm really, I mean, we're going to talk about it during the interview, but like I'd like to come on board in some way, see how I can contribute to the good things that you're doing.
I appreciate you. We look forward to doing something in Philly, and we can't wait to come there.
So I keep getting all these weird notifications. I'm just gonna ignore the pink bar that's in front of my head. All right, so we're gonna come right up after this. We're rocking a little Eve. Love is blind.
Love is blind.
Mm-hmm.
It can go to your mind. Mm-hmm. That was a
Is
good
that,
one right there.
that good position?
Uh, you've been playing my girl Eve. She been doing it real big over there. You've
Yes,
been
she
holding her down.
has. And I just saw she just started her own podcast, and now she's been with the, what is it, the talk or the real? All right, how's that? Is that good? Okay, cool. All right, that's a little better light for me. Okay. So we can come right up after this. Well, I appreciate your assistant calling as I was scampering trying to get the number.
My assistant is the best, man. She helps me out, man. She's all over it. She's making
Yeah,
sure we get this thing done, you know?
right?
Shout out to Anya, my assistant. I like that song. You playing that good stuff.
Oh, thanks.
I see you, girl.
And welcome back to this week's edition of Style and Empowerment Chat with Laura and Friends. We are so excited to welcome to the show the founder and CEO of Ruff Ryders Entertainment.
Laura, what's up? What's up? What's up, Philly? What we
Okay,
doing?
so would you like me to officially call you Joaquin? I know you also go by Wa. Which do you prefer?
I mean, whatever takes you, you know, why is cool. You can call me why, you can call me Joaquin, whatever you feel like it. It's all good with me. I'm good with
Well, for those of you who did not come up in the Rough Riders movement, like myself, gonna take you back circa 1998. So, Joaquin Dean and his brother Darren Dean and sister Chevron Dean founded Rough Riders. So, can you talk to us just from the ground up? Your journey deciding to open up a family business in entertainment, and how you got the idea just to go into the music industry, like where that pathway came from in your lives.
Yeah, so basically what happened was I was on the streets hustling, doing my thing. And I grew up in, you know, uptown New York. So between Philly, uptown New York, I've been, you know, I was in Mount Vernon, New York. So it really, in Mount Vernon, New York, um, I knew Heavy D and I knew Puffy and them. So at that time, they was um, they was young guys that was in the neighborhood that actually crossed over into the music business. And I was in front of Shabazz restaurant and I seen Heavy D. He pulled up in two or three white cars, one Range, one Benz, and something else. And I remember he was just riding bicycles a couple of years ago. And then now all of a sudden he's driving all these cars and he's on TV and stuff. And I'm out there throwing bricks to the penitentiary. So when I
Right.
see Heavy D, I'm like, yo, Hev, like, I'm trying to get off these street corners. I'm trying to get in the game, in the music business. So, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, I can't promise you anything or guarantee you anything. But he said, you get an artist you believe in and make hits and the industry come to you. So I said, yo, that's all we got to do. He said, that's all you got to do. And so my man Tiny was with me. So he had to have a cassette, a DMX cassette in his pocket. I didn't even know he had it because we never played music for people like that. So he
Right.
He gave
Because
me the
back in
cassette.
the day, this was the era of cassettes, and aspiring artists and managers would just put in the foot power going from record labels and publicist's office, always having your material here just to hand it to someone and hope that they would have an open mind and take a chance that would lead to you leveraging to the next step in your goals.
Yes, indeed. So, after that, then my man Tiny gave me the cassette. He gave it to Heavy D. Heavy D said, "Yo, this is your first artist." I played the music in my 300ZX, and I liked it, so I drove over there to see DMX. The rest was history. That's what happened. I went to see DMX in Yonkers, and I started working with him that day from the following day on. So that's how I really got introduced into the business by Heavy D, just from a conversation.
Well, of course, Heavy D growing up was one of
Right.
my favorite artists. We just lost him way too soon. It just had such great feel good music. Now that we found love, Black Coffee. Oh my God. I mean, literally, I wore
Right.
my Heavy D tape out. and just we're going to talk about this thread throughout our interview, but it goes to show that every stage of on your way to getting somewhere, there's a pivotal moment where somebody gives you a chance, opens up a door, so that way you can prove yourself and move up the ladder of whatever you're aspiring to be.
That's right. That's right. You have
So
to
now, oh, go, I'm sorry, go ahead.
you have to have those moments to be inspired, and it happens with the rarest things that's come into your journey. So it's very important that you have faith on this ride. It's a beautiful thing.
So now, Rough Riders, you initially started out as talent managers. So DMX was the first artist that you signed. So just talk a little bit about what was it that you saw in DMX in the very, very beginning parts of his career, where you said, yeah, like this is the artist, this is someone I want to represent, this is someone who is going to really go somewhere, like what it was the things you saw in him and where you business wise just wanted to align together.
Yeah. So DMX, first we was a production company and we had a management company. We had both. Um,
Hmm.
and then DMX, when I got with DMX in Yonkers, he was raw talent. So DMX had a lot of raw talent. The reason why we was working with X was because we would relate to each other. He pretty much come from the streets and he had a hard life coming up. We had the same thing. We was on the streets and we clicked real well because we had love for music as well as just trying to get out of it, trying to make something happen. And DMX had raw talent, so I used to take him out to all the different shows, underground shows, and he performed and battled. And we did a lot of things
Hmm.
together. So DMX is just really a good brother. We didn't consider him as an artist. We could consider him as a brother. So now he became family with us, and we just made great music together. We made great music. We did great things together. X just had the true talent. You could tell he had the it factor. A lot of cats be right,
Right.
they be all right,
He-
but
that
X,
energy that draws people to him.
yeah, he got the it factor. So I just did a lot of work with him. As far as just developing him and bringing him, around different environments, letting him see things outside of Yonkers, and just
Mhm.
investing into him and making sure that he have whatever he needs to be able to get to the next step in his life in this music business. And so we was able to be successful in doing it. It wasn't easy though. There was a lot of
Mm.
ups and downs. It took us 12 years to really get our first break. So
Yeah,
we've been
people would say, "Oh, overnight success." No, it's never anything in this business. It's never an overnight success. It's always years of just plugging away and trying different things before you get that magic situation that puts you on wider radar.
yeah. So true. Yeah. So the beauty of it is that the beauty of it is is dealing with DMX. Dealing with DMX was so dope. The beauty of dealing with him, it was just that it wasn't another dull moment. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We came to Philly a couple of times. It was Das Effects was performing out in Philly. Out there, we came out there, we did a couple of shows out there. It was real crazy. We took a school bus to go out to Philly. We had
Wow.
rappers on one school bus. He came out to Philly. I forgot what it was. It was some big event that they did. It was like a track meet event out there.
Okay.
And we used to come
Probably
out there.
Temple or UP.
Yeah, and we used to go out there. It was a big event. And we went out
Oh,
there.
the pen relays.
Pin relays. There it is.
Yeah, that's
There it
it.
is. We used to go to the pin relays and come out there from New York, bring a bunch of guys out there. We had Das Effect. They had mad people out there. So the pin relays was our thing. We used to do that all the time. We come out there every year to do the pin relays. We had shows. We did shows out there. It was dope. We performed with Das Effects out there with DMX. That was hot. And we used to battle with a bunch of artists from Philly. So that was hot. Yeah, we had a lot of fun in Philly. Philly is home. So yeah, so we had a lot of fun out in Philly, man.
And you touched on a very important part of the legacy of hip hop. Now everybody is just social media and YouTube and TikTok and all that stuff. But back in the day, from the 80s to I'd say the mid 2000s ish, if people wanted to get that respect, the street cred, attention of A&R reps and label scouts, you had ciphers and battles where artists would in rounds and levels be artistically battling each other, and also like kind of flexing their chops, because hip hop is a artistically organic competitive art form, of kind of intellectually outsmarting your opponent through the lyric. I mean, I think that just brought such great edge to the artists of the day, as opposed of now where, okay, you just get signed, you're on social media, you get a lot of likes, and oh, that one. I feel like back then the artists really had to be on the spot, and their creative flow was at a higher level than some of the hip hop artists nowadays.
Yeah, I call it the disconnect. Social media is a gift and a curse. You
Mm-hmm.
have access to so many people, but you don't have the connection with the artist like you used to. Before, you had to really get to meet the artist. You was in the presence of the artist. The people got to meet the artist, and the development of the artist with the team that he would be around will make hit records, and they will make history together. And the fans will follow us, a lot more. We'll have more organic fans that really believe in our movement. Now it's more a social media movement where they like you today and don't, you're nobody tomorrow, right? So, it's like you get this mass rush. You're only as good as your last hit or your
Right.
last social media hit. And then do you really have a true fan base? So sometimes you do have some of these artists online, they have true fan bases. And then I just think it's more of a connection thing. Should be
Yeah.
more intertwined with the artists. The artists need to be more able to be in the face of the people instead of just I'll be on internet right here and I'm like, yo, you like me? And I can get to more people like this, but I really like we was more hands-on. We come to
Yeah.
your neighborhood, come to your hood, and you get to know who we are. We get to have fun. It is what it is. Whatever you selling or whatever we selling, you knew we was showing up. We come to Philly and we on our battle rap hardcore stuff, then we go to wherever the hottest rappers are in the city of Philly. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go in there and we're gonna hang out in their hood, and then we're gonna battle and we're gonna have fun and they're gonna get to know us as a person more intimate. So we was more hands-on and more intimate back then, and now it's more social media and more mass people you can connect with, but you have to, the connection is a little off as far as
Right.
getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's also how you build more long lasting and loyal fans. When you can actually get out there in the community in one way or another, and you're actually immersed in the community as an artist, and the people feel, hey, this person's approachable, I can relate to that person. Then you get more of the emotional buy-in from the listener, and they feel that connection to that artist, and then they follow them, and whatever they drop or do, they're, oh, let me check that out, let me check out that new song. But if you're just mainly marketing through social media, it's like, okay, that's the hottest, whatever, on to the next thing, on to the next.
Well, that's true. It's just a different time and era. Everybody has their moment. This is
Mm-hmm.
a new wave moment. We embrace them. We support them. We help it. We helped started the internet and all that. The generation just
Mm-hmm.
was able to capitalize off of it. So it's all good. And I
So,
believe that every generation should have something more to work with than the
yeah.
last generation.
Now, Rough Riders sticking out from some of the other hip hop movements, because around that time you had, well, Def Jam, of course, which was one of the first labels of hip hop with Rick Rubin. And then a little bit later, you had Puffy's label, and Irv Gotti. But Rough Riders stuck out as what I felt like was kind of a more aggressive street vibe, some party anthems, but then also a lot of the songs reflected things going on in the streets, social issues. So was that a conscious choice when you were deciding the direction of the music and the label and the marketing, or did that just organically happen?
We was just doing, we was being who we are. So
Mhm.
we was in the street a lot. So everything was organically street for us. We come from an environment of struggle. We come from that whole street element. So it was easy for us to express the masses that actually is in the struggle from the streets. So
Mhm.
that's where we come from. We just happen to have dope artists like X, Kiss, The Locks, and all these artists that was
Mhm.
with us, that we can give them the tools, and they was able to write it and bring it to life. So
Mhm.
our thing was more so family, organization, street vibe. It was hardcore. We gave you what we have, what we
Mhm.
were. So we was in the streets. That's where we represented. That's where we came from, and that's the music that you got delivered from us.
Now, of course, you are a family-owned business, which is great. So, how did you, when you were first laying out the corporate structure of Rough Riders, what was your process like when you were deciding what part of the range you were going to take? Darian, and Chevron within the business.
Yeah, so how that worked out is I went to get, when I first started, I did like 3, 4 years. I went and got my sister out of Atlanta, Siobhan. When I first started, she was more, gonna be a more administrational person to follow
Mhm.
through on that. I went to get her, she came back, she worked with me, and then I went and got my brother D. So he was pretty much, busy doing the street thing, so he didn't really want to get in the mix at that time. And then later, about 3, 4, 5 years later, he came in and got involved. My sister went and got him and told him that we was doing pretty good. We just needed to get more support from we was dealing with Puffy and them. So D had a little relationship with Puff, so we kind of like bridged that gap. He bridged that gap, and then we took the Locks over there and Mace, and then we just that's how we started. Then my brother was doing the A&R. I was doing a little bit of everything. And then I got my sister involved, and my sister got my brother involved, and then we split it all up. So I was doing most of the overseeing the business, all on multiple levels. My sister was mostly dealing with the business day to day, and my brother in Swiss was working with the A&R and stuff. So they was pretty much overseeing the music. I set up the whole situation for everybody to rock with. I brought all the producers in. I brought all the artists in. I started the studio and put it in perspective. So I'm more of a visionary. So I see I see the whole vision, and I put everybody in motion, and then let everybody do what they do. So that's how that show flow.
Now, the other thing that made your company unique, and first of all, I think it's such an inspiring story. Everything about the Rough Riders story is inspiring, but particularly that this was your first foray into the music industry. And you built a dynasty of multiple platinum selling artists, and a blueprint that many other people followed afterwards. But I always found it really interesting, the way like you said, you're truly a visionary. You didn't just think, hey, we're going to talent manage. No, we're going to have our own studio. You kept everything in house, which trims costs when you own your own studio. You don't have to pay for studio time for
Mm-hmm.
somebody else. Swizz Beats, which is the Swizz we're talking about. For those who aren't in the know, Alicia Keys' husband and the co-founder of the Versus Battles.
Yes.
Uh, yes. So, he was your house producer for a lot of the songs. So it was also visionary in the way that you were looking of, okay, well, how can I keep as much of the profit inside our business and provide opportunities for fostering the talent of my family and the people around me.
Yeah. So we basically we basically put we always had a family involved. So everybody from each entity we had involved with the business. You have my brother doing management. I had my sister working with the legal area. I had my uncle was the accountant, so he handled the accounting. So we kept all business internal. We always made sure the family, we believe in the money should stay within the families,
Mhm.
and then, the extended families, right? So we
Mhm.
keep everything internal. And
Which
the
speaks
order,
to the importance of equity and generational wealth.
yeah, so generational and community wealth is our major goal, is to be able
Mhm.
to, be able to work within your own community, family and community, to be able to uplift each other and empower each other, and then be able to raise money and spend money among each other, and let the money work within 7, 8, 9 times before it goes out into any other community. So everybody should touch a little bit of that money before it leaves. So we did a lot
Mhm.
of that. That was like mandatory. We did that from out the gate. That was mandatory, that the family was involved. And then we was the first label at that time to ever license our brand to the
Mhm.
community. So we opened up the Rough Rider Lifestyle membership clubs all over the country, all over the world, and we licensed our brand at the highest point of our career, where everybody was
Mhm.
eating on every level. So we was
Mhm.
eating up here. The bike chapters was eating on Ground Zero, because they was able to have access to using the brand, doing events, selling merchandising, and feeding their families off of our
Mhm.
brand at the same time. So we into heavy big on everybody getting some, right? Everybody's involved with, building a brand. I
Mhm.
think it takes more than just one entity. You have to get multiple entities and multiple income stream flows to actually have a big brand to move things forward. So
And
we
everybody has to be passionate about what you're doing and the common team goal and the part they play.
yes. So the beauty of it is, we always passionate about this whole thing, because it's personal to us. We feel like You know, we trying to get out of the streets. So we in the game. We trying to make an exit. Our our why, our purpose is at the highest level because we know if we don't get make this music and make these hits, that we was gonna end up locked up in life in jail or dead on the street. So we had a we had no other options. It was all or nothing when we came into this game.
And you truly, Rough Riders truly was a cultural movement. I mean, all over MTV and at the top video shows of the day, and really influenced pop culture, specifically through fashion as well. And Rough Riders, like the visual to me, always kind of seemed to have a sports edge to it. That I could see that athletics and sports and competition was definitely an influence all through the brand.
Yeah, we did the sports, we did the extreme sports. You know, we did a little bit of everything. You know, Rough Riders is a way of life, it's a lifestyle. You know, when you come into Rough Riders, you become we represent all walks of life. So you
Mhm.
can, you know, you not just we just not limited to just doing music. We do a little bit of everything. That's what makes it so beautiful. And then we a brotherhood and sisterhood. So we got people in every city across the country. We ride bikes. We do car clubs. We have dog divisions. We have people from standard members that actually work from all walks of life. We have military, cops, doctors, lawyers. We got every walk of life we have in our organization, and that just makes it beautiful because you become a Rough Rider, you can become part of family, a melting pot worldwide. We're not citywide, we're worldwide.
Well, that's fantastic. And it just speaks to you as a visionary person to take a business and a brand from just an idea and something that you wanted to do to leverage your family up to a better place to now a global movement and just influencing culture in so many different ways.
Yeah,
Now,
go ahead.
Now, other I got like to spend some time on before we take a break and then come back and talk about the great charity work you're doing. Is what made you unique is bringing Eve on, of course, Philly's own. She's one of my
Philly,
favorite
Philly.
as as the first lady of Rough Riders. So I could imagine for any actualized confident female that it must have been a little daunting coming on into this big mostly male dominated family and carving out your own niche within that. Can you talk to us a little bit back when you first saw Eve and what you're like, yes, that's the female artist that I want, and just your process of creating some of those her early songs like Love Is Blind and all of her great songs, in the beginning of her career.
Well, let's just represent Eve. Eve is the best. She's the first Rough Rider lady, always the best lady. We love Eve. You know, Eve is our girl. She stand firmer than the men sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Eve is the truth. I want y'all to
Yes.
know that we gonna give our respect to Eve because Eve came in there and she put in that
It's
work.
amazing.
Let's give it to Eve. Eve is amazing. Now, this is the best that you're gonna get. Eve took it from nothing to something to something to something, right? Eve put that thing down.
All the way for
This
the
girl
start.
is so epic and so incredible that when we see her, we just give her love because most ladies that come from hip hop don't excel the way Eve excelled and still maintain her
So
her
many
integrity,
layers.
her integrity and everything that came with it. So I'll be seeing a lot of rap artists. They be looking good. They get a female artists. They do their thing. They grow up. They get money. But it's the longevity that we want to see. Eve has got to have longevity. She was
Yes.
able to excel from music to movies to all kind of shows. You know, The View.
Talk shows. Now
She
she
did
has her
talk
own
shows.
podcast.
Eve was able to get married and go. Then she was able to take it to the highest level. God bless Eve. That's what we said. God bless Eve because Eve is never gave us a problem when it came to going to work. Because she knew she was in a room full of hard workers. She knew we never slept around here. We was like, yo, Eve, when we met Eve, I met Eve with, Eve come from Aftermath. She was with
Mhm.
Dr. Dre. Her and Mark Byers was over there. So basically what happened was Eve Aftermath wasn't bubbling. We was hot at that time. And Aftermath, with Dre had just left off for Death Row, and he went over
Mhm.
there with Jimmy with Aftermath, and he was trying to figure it out. And Eve, we went and did a couple of songs for Eve because I had Great Dane Grease go and do about 3-4 songs for Dre for Eve. I went out there and she killed the songs. We was with her dope with her in Cali. And from there, we from there, a week or two later, Jimmy Iovine calls and say, "Yo, listen, how about y'all bringing Eve on?" So we like Eve. Yeah, we work with Eve. We like Eve. She cool. My brother asked me, "Who was Eve?" I said, "That's how she's out in Philly. She with Drake." So we like, yeah, send for her. So she came to Philly. Then she came to New York, and then we had a battle the whole studio. It was like, "Yo, you can't come in here and you don't go 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of rapping." So
Wow.
she went in there and battled like 20 cats for like 3, 4 hours. I was like, oh,
Wow.
I like Eve. And so Eve was really aggressive. So we said, okay, we could work with you because we needed a first lady anyway. So
Hmm.
when we discovered Eve was through Jimmy Iovine. Dr. Dre sent her over, and we took it and ran with it because we was already killing them with X and the locks, and we was going to
Hmm.
war. You know what I'm saying? So we had the industry on shook, and Eve just put the icing on the cake. The first lady, what y'all niggas
And
want?
even from
Who's
the
that
jump
girl?
was about female empowerment, and it just, kind of going for yours. She started fashion wise, she was a little bit kind of a sexy tomboy when she first came out, and then over the years evolved more into what I'd say like a kind of glam style. But for ladies like myself at the time, like the music was so infectious. Her style was just so in your fan, you're like, yeah, like I'm rocking to this, pumped you up and lifted your spirit. And I just loved her music videos, and they were just always very luxe, but with a street edge to it, but very relatable. And she has a real individual fashion style. So at that time, did you and your brother play a part in the imagery of Eve, the fashion, the videos, or was that just all her?
Yeah, we played a role because we had always got involved with the energy of the image. We always wanted everything
Mhm.
to be coincide with what represents us as a whole. And then Eve did a lot of the work too. So she was in it. When we first got Eve, Eve was rough. So we had it in Tim's, and
Right.
she had the tomboy look a little bit, but she was killing them with that vibe. And then she started
Mhm.
to evolve. So we started to evolve. She started getting better stylists, then she started to evolve into the lady and blossom and stuff like that. And then we were just putting her with dope people so that she can become all she could be. And then everything's just start to fall in line. Because once you start working and you make that first tilt, then everything else happens. So Eve was able to come in rough, and then she was able to evolve. And then we was just there to support her. And I remember one time I was like, "Yo, Eve, when you wearing all these shoes? You took your Timberland boots off?" She said, "Why? I can't stay in Timbs no more. I can't keep on the Timbs." I said, "You gotta wear your Timbs." So she's like, "Nah, I got you. Why? But I can't. I gotta. It's a fashion statement right now." I said, "All right,
Right.
Eve, you got."
Well, that of course for a minute was that trend of the Timberland high heel boots,
Yeah,
right? That's when they were kind of trying to take the brand a little more femme. Uh,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, we was having problems. I was like, yo, Eve, we killing these people out here. You getting ready to go straight into your little fashion stuff. She said, yeah, we gonna do it. I then she evolved, we evolved. I was like, go ahead. She went to the movies. It was barbershop and all that. So we was loving Eve. We never had no problems with Eve. I mean, we whipped a lot of people out for Eve. We got a lot of fights over Eve. Every city we went to, we was beating guys up so much that Eve just had those guys going crazy. We was like, yo, every time we go outside, it was the clubs would be rumbling. Eve walk in, it'd be on in there. We'd be like, what state we in? We ain't gonna be here long. This thing get ready to go real south right quick. Eve is in there. We're gonna have to. These guys was all over Eve, man. So Eve love us because she know we put our life on the line for Eve. You know what I'm saying?
And again, you speak to such an important point that for artists to find themselves and get that confidence to explore different parts of themselves creatively, imagery wise, you have to be surrounded by people who are not only guiding your business but nurturing you, where you feel safe, where you trust their opinion to bounce ideas off, that they're not going to steer you wrong, well, giving you the freedom to find yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing we did with our artists. Our artist was family, so it never was about being an artist. Once you came in to be a Rough Rider, you family. You really
Mm.
like we take it personal. Like you one of us now. So once we lock in, it's like, yo, well, you can't do that. You like my little sister, big brother, whatever it is. Yo, you got it. We got to make sure you good. And we had a
Right.
situation with some CEOs. It's like, yo, they artists. You got to treat them like artists. We treat them like family. They said, well, what's this artist stuff? So they used to tell us, yeah, this artist turn on you and they do this, they do that. And we like, yeah, well, if they turn, it's all love. Like
Mhm.
we ain't worried about that. We just here to support them because we all trying to be supported. You know what I'm saying? And we all trying to get out of the predicament we in and to get into something better. So we help each other in the process of it. So if somebody changed, then we support them and they change. And then life goes on. You know how it go.
Right. And when you love someone, part of love is building them up for success, but then stepping back when they're ready to spread their wings.
There you go. So you gotta be willing to let them go and fly and soar. And everybody be like, yo, y'all still with Eve? You still with this? I said, yo, listen, I was with Eve and all these artists from the day of their career, they are just like children. Once they blossom and they grow and they jump out of the nest, you got to let them spread their wings. You got to let them go. And then they'll come back, but in due time. But just and you there to embrace them for the time that you were supposed to be there to embrace them. Today was able
Mhm.
to embrace themselves and get on their own feet. And then once they're able to get on their own feet, then you'll be able to say, God bless you in the journey that you on. So that's the beauty about this, man. Being a Rough Rider is being able to embrace as many people as you can and living this life because you only live one and try to do right by as many as you can in the process of it and just enjoy this journey because it's a beautiful ride.
It sure is, and it's so great. Like when you have a positive, collaborative environment where you can just pull from the ideas and talents of others. Like you were mentioning, Swiss did a lot of the production, but he also rapped on some of the songs with Eve and the Lock. So you were again unique where you were in step, giving each person a little room to find their way, try, test, try out, move a little in this direction, get their confidence and their skills, and take a bigger chomp of the pie, and try and move this way and that way. And that's unique because a lot of labels weren't and aren't like that, where you say, hey, we're a family of artists, we're a community, and we're just going to push each other and collaborate and rise up together.
That's right. That's how it works. We had a lot of we put a lot of peer pressure on each other, so the pressure was on. We couldn't allow
Right?
nobody. We had so much pressure on everybody, man. The pressure was breaking people in this joint. We put so much pressure on you, man. Then we never rest, so we worked 24 hours a day, and so and everybody had somebody on them that was responsible for them. So we would
Right.
have family that put family with you and everybody, and they'd be like, "Well, I don't, you got your family with me, yeah, because my family know the rules of what you need to do and what you're not going to do. So if you let that happen on your time clock and you watch that, then we got a problem with that. Yo, why would you let him do that and that happened? You were standing right there. Well, I didn't know. Everybody's getting a lot of pressure. So we kept pressure on, we keep a lot of pressure. It's not personal. It's just what it is because we trying to win. And
Right.
once we win,
You want to maintain at a level of excellence. So it pushes
yes,
you to be at your best level.
you push it to the limit. You know how
Mhm.
it is, Laura. You got to push it to the limit. Everybody got to be accountable. If
Right.
you wasn't on your post, somebody's gonna step to you. Yo, what you doing? You're not doing it here. You got to win. We came to win. We used to have fights and everything over this thing, man. This thing was. I'm happy it wasn't social media when we came up because we probably would be all locked up right now.
Right.
Like shit, man. We happy social media was with us because they put everything on social media, TikTok, and all this other stuff. We like,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's cute. That's cute. But for us, it wouldn't have did us no good because we would have probably been locked up a long time ago. TikTok and all that, Instagram, all that stuff would have got us locked up because we dead serious. Like you put us in the game, you know what's gonna happen. We're not playing with you. We putting it
Right.
all on the line, and all this faking and fronting is going to when we see you, you're gonna really have to be who you say you are. And we
Mhm.
just brothers and sisters everywhere. So we got members all over the world. We got over 400 chapters worldwide. We in thousands of members in all over the cities in the states, right? We
Mhm.
have a Rough Riders to the Rescue community watch program that we're dealing with right now for the 501c3. That's happening. So we did a 24-hour watch community watch program where we got 4 points in the city with the 4 trouble areas that we put in a watch at each point. And in those
Mhm.
each points, we're going to be we're going to have interrupters, and we call incredible messages that's going to be mediating the beefs in the streets and also the police coming into the communities that actually is going to be, police in the area to support to make sure that we don't have the shootings and all that with the police and all that craziness going on. So when the police come, they meet us. We ask the police how can anything we could do to support the cause of what you're trying to get accomplished here, because we have the relationship in the community with the youth and them to try to make sure everybody's, everything is mediated properly. Plus,
Mhm.
in our interrupters program, it's an outreach program that we do. So we also help the youth. The interrupters has a mentoring program that they mentor in 4 points of the city, 20, 30, 40 kids each. And then we're gonna be doing programs with those youth to try to, give them things to do, get them jobs, get them, entrepreneurship programs, just putting them to work, getting them, giving them the resources they need to be able to have outside of just coming to on their block to worry about somebody selling them, trying to get them to sell some weed or sell some dope or whatever. We got other things that we can offer you out here too, outside of all that other nonsense. So we coming out there to get on ground. So get ready for Rough Riders to the Rescue because we about to hit ground zero. I'm about to get into my official set it off in the city, door to door, what's up program. You know what I'm saying? So get ready. We're gonna be coming through your way with all the bikes and all that, and just starting to, we impact Mount Vernon, New York. We in Mount Vernon, New York right now. We in Yonkers. We also in Rochester. We were about to go to Rochester and we're about to jump into Newburgh. So we hitting the small cities right now so we can get a better feel for our formula. And then we're gonna go into the mega cities in the next 3 to 6 months and just get in there and start to work. Because we got family in every city. So, you're a Rough Rider too. So you part of the struggle. You have your journey, and that's a beautiful thing. So we can recruit you. You can recruit us one day. We can come out there and have some fun.
Definitely. Well, it's so important to be utilizing our platforms to not only reach people but help and unite people together. I think right now, trying to look at the plus side of what's going on in the world right now, is all the digital platforms is making it an asset where we can kind of come together and do seeing like a lot of virtual conferences and seminars, and so a great way to expand to other cities too, with the mentoring angle of things is utilizing the digital technologies, where you can bring people together from other states. I think what you're doing is fantastic. You're just such a role model and an inspiration of what can be accomplished from idea to conception and hard work, and not thinking in a box business wise, and also how business and community and helping your community can overlap, that we can be fiscally prosperous while helping each other at the same time. I think is a beautiful thing, and I applaud you for what you've done and continue to do.
Thank you. I appreciate you, putting the word out there and keeping positive energy in the world. So appreciate you. We do have a DMX album. We accomplished that album. So we'll be looking to drop that this year. We
Oh,
got,
that's exciting.
yeah, we got that album done. So Swiss helped executive produce it. So, it's a beautiful thing. We did finally got that album in the can. And then you got
Well,
a young,
keep me in the loop when that's about to drop.
huh?
I said, keep me in the loop when that's about to drop.
Yeah, that's going to happen real soon. We're gonna let you get the first look if we can. I'm gonna let you, see what it is. We're gonna keep you on the radar.
Oh, fantastic. And shout out to my buddy Pete Palestina Gifted Music, who co-produced my theme song. He actually just produced a movie that DMX and Tara Reid were starred in. I think they did the filming in London, so I guess that's coming out sometime this year. So it's exciting to see when people are doing great things with other people you admire, and it's just a circle.
Circle of life, girl. Circle of life. Look out for the Young Riders. We're doing a new Millennium Young Riders launch for Ruff Ryders, the extension of Ruff Ryders, the new Millennium Young Riders. Shout out to Little Y, Medium Y, Dow, and all the young riders that's coming through the pipeline to start to make they mark in life. So look forward for the seeing them. They're gonna be coming through the pipeline with music and membership and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
And you also have a Rough Riders radio, correct?
Yes, we have Rough Riders Radio. You can go to roughriderradio.com on the app and you can check it out. So we have our own radio stations on deck. We have two studios available in New York that we work from. And then,
Well, that's exciting.
we just adding on, we're just adding on to the community to utilize these resources to make things happen for the youth.
Fantastic. So now, if people want to get involved and support the work and mission of Rough Riders to the Rescue and your neighborhood watch and all the great things that Rough Riders is doing for the community, where can they go?
Yeah, they can go to Rough Riders 2, the number 2, the rescue.org. You can go online and you can sign up there. You can go to the hotline, the 24-hour hotline if you want to check in for the 929-529-6828. So you can go on there too, so you can check it out. Just let's just bridge the gap. If anything we could do in your city, we're coming to the city near you because we can't wait to get to Philly. I know Philly is on fire over there too. So we got to come to Philly before the
Yeah,
weather breaks.
and after we,
Brother love,
mm, yes,
city
and
of,
sister infection. People always leave that part off.
I love that city. I used to live in Uptown. I lived in Uptown, so I lived up there. And, and Mont Airy and all that up there, up on that side, Ogons. So
Yep.
I'm up on that side. So yeah, I did a lot. When I was young, I lived up there in Philly. So I had a lot of resources, a lot of family over there, a lot of friends in Philly. So we shout out to Philly. Always show love to Philly.
Mind. Well, of course, you can follow Rough Riders on Instagram. And Joaquin, you want to shout out your Instagram and your social media handles?
Yeah, at Y Dean is WAAHDEAN. You can go on there, check me out on Instagram. So you're more than welcome. DM me, whatever it is, we make it make sense.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna hit you up on your DM later, so we can, talk about, brainstorming some things. It's been a pleasure and an honor. I want to again thank you just for all the amazing music that you created, your vision that's inspired so many, launched so many great artists that have inspired so many of us. Everything that you've brought to the culture and the example that you've set for others to model themselves after, to how to pivot to the hurdles and stay positive, the power of reinventing your business, all the great things that you've done and continue to do. So you can catch us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Alexa, Spreaker, TuneIn, Amazon Music, as well as all of our stations. Like and follow the Style and Empowerment Chat Laura Friends Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram at the Laura Mazurek. Next week.
Laura.
And next week, we'll be welcoming Lisa to the show. So excited about that. I send you nothing but prosperity and
Thank you.
goodbye, and continuing all the great things you're doing.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna finish out with another Rough Riders block. Thank you so much for just sharing your
Thank you
story
for
and
having me, Laura.
journey
I
and your
appreciate
wisdom.
you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you, Laura, and I love your energy and your smile, everything about you. Continue being blessed into this world. We love your energy. Please keep it coming.
Yeah, and shout out to the whole Rough Riders family and to Kevin and Angela. I love you guys. And thank you so much. And
Thank you.
it's been such a pleasure.
All right. Thank you. Salute.